Buongiorno from our home in Sicily. I just got back from Tuscany. We had a wonderful small group tour. Went to all the medieval, Gothic, Renaissance towns. So much history, so much beauty. I'm going to take you to Pienza, a small little town, in just a bit. But let me tell you, the agriturismo we're staying at is just fantastic. It's really, I'm just going to say, rustic. It's rustic. It's in the middle of fields. I'm going to take you over there in just a little bit. But Al, you've been to Tuscany many times.
Well, you know, if you haven't watched the Siena video that we put up last week, you should really watch it because that really gives you the essence of what a Renaissance town is, a favored Renaissance town. And of course, Florence, which we haven't covered because everybody in the world covers it. But the small little towns that she went to, they're just spectacular. And this little place that she's going to show you in just a little while is really a special place. All of them are a little place. And stick around because I have a survival tip for you in the next segment, okay?
But wait a second,
Get
I want
a
to know.
paper and a pencil. What?
I want to know, which one is your favorite Tuscan town?
Siena,
Really?
without a doubt.
Mine is San Gimignano. Have you guys been to San Gimignano?
Yes, I've been.
I included it in a video from last year. I'll leave you a link over there. But that town, let's just say it's charming. Now, let me tell you that both Al and I, well, you know, Tuscany, and don't tell anyone I said this to you, but it's not Sicily. I feel like Sicily has more in-depth, more history, more variety. So we're still, how does it called? Sicily Files? What is it called?
Sicilophiles.
Sicilophiles.
But you know something though? This is before you,
Yeah.
okay? Pre-Esther.
Before
That's
Esther.
B-E, before Esther. I took a group to Tuscany and on recommendation from somebody, we went into a different agriturismo. I remember getting our stuff, putting it into the bedroom, which really was a piece of plywood with a sponge bed on it, okay? That was strike one. We sat down into the quote-unquote dining room, and right above my head, they had those things that go like this that the flies stick on. And that was the high point of that stay in that particular one. There was no lights getting into or out of the facility.
Well, wait a second.
The only good thing was we got some good wine here. That, what's it called, Barolo?
But wait a second.
That was good stuff.
Like with everything, there's good ones and bad ones.
Man,
there's
that was a
good
bad one, yeah.
agriturismo, there's bad agriturismo, and the one we happen to stay at is a fabulous one. Let me take you there now. Buongiorno. This is the living room outside my room, which is right there. And look at this view. This is how we start the morning. I think he slept well too. Set among the splendid Tuscan fields, this agriturismo has a farm, a garden, a pool, a wellness center, and a full restaurant with all fresh homemade dishes. Trust me, every night we were treated with some local delights.
Oh, you have to.
I went. Yeah.
And typical Tuscany.
Typical Tuscan.
Buongiorno, guys. Tacchino. Turkey. Where are the turkeys? Oh, that's a beautiful guy. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, I don't have anything to feed you. Hela! I just walked in and look, Mariana's making. Buongiorno. Che sta facendo?
Tagliolini, pasta fresca.
Pasta fresca. Come chiama questa pasta?
Tagliolini.
Tagliolini. We made this last year como guitar.
Sì, chitarra.
And this is what we eat for dinner, fresh pasta. Look at this, you can come into this cave and enjoy a jacuzzi. And then here's the sauna. Yes, baby.
If you want a small town Renaissance feel, Pienza is your place to come. Very small, doable in half a day, home to one of the popes, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Plus, Pecorino cheese is known to come from here, but wait, that's not the entire story. Wait till you hear where Pecorino cheese really came from.
Via dell'Amore! And this is where the beautiful view is going to be. Behold this amazing valley. As you walk around, make sure you come to the side streets, because of course that's where all the treasures are. Little out of the way restaurants and shops. Listen to this story. In 2023, apparently, a lot of tourists in this area were complaining because the bells at night were keeping them awake. And so, what happened? They decided to stop some of the bells ringing at night at the town hall because of complaining tourists. Imagine that. Yes, Pienza is known for pecorino, but actually the tradition of making pecorino came from Sardinia, because in the 1960s the government gave a special deal where if they came here they would get some land and for a good price, and they could make pecorino. By the way, I wish you could smell this. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there came a number of sheep herders from Sardinia, and there's one family actually. It is said that he brought 1,000 sheep and 8 children with him. And now they still have a farm that you can visit. Oh, if you could smell the shop. Oh my God. Pecorino de Pienza with all types of toppings. Here we go, all types of salamis. Alfred Capocciolo, salami toscana, prosciutto. Valle d'Orcia, the Orcia River. And if you look around all over Tuscany, actually, you'll see these cypress trees, right, that are so symbolic of Tuscany. And you'll see them along the roads as well, and one of the reasons is because the roads can be very unsteady, especially when it rains. And these cypress trees help keep the roads stable. So you see them all over the roads especially. One of the reasons this was picked as a UNESCO World Heritage Site is because of the collaboration of humans and nature. You know, all too often we work against nature, but here in Pienza, they really did a great job with man-made things that helped enhance nature. Now, straight ahead over there, believe it or not, was a volcano. This is Laura, one of our guides here in Pienza, and Pienza is a small town, but historically very important, especially because a pope came from here.
Yes, Pope Pius II. He belonged to the Piccolomini family, Enea Silvio Piccolomini, and he decided to transform his birthplace, and so we had the first urban organized village town of the Renaissance. The 16th century, 1559, so they belonged building a new church, very nice one, and square, and also other buildings. And so the small village, quite normal, quite usual village became the first attempt, the first try to have a new ideal Renaissance town.
And the Pope worked with the architects. He didn't just say, oh, build this, build this.
He worked
together.
closely, yes, with Bernardo Rossellino. So we have really, we are in the heart of the Renaissance tradition, architecture. So the
architects
tried to include the nature
in building
his,
all
yes,
of this.
Yes, in his work. So we don't have separate regions, but we have to try to have a village, to have a town inside a wonderful landscape.
Did you know that about pecorino cheese? That it actually came from Sardinia? Hello? That was an interesting fact, wasn't it?
All the cheeses are good, but the cheeses in Sicily are better. I hate to say, except for Parmigiano. Have you been to Parma?
No.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. I'm going to tell you a quick.
Caciocavallo.
Yeah, I want to tell a quick funny story about Massimo, if you don't mind.
Tell me.
So we did the Cibus International Festival up in Parma, Massimo and I, and we flew up there in a two-seater that we almost got killed because of the turbulence, but that's not the story. So we met this guy up there at the show who was one of the largest Parmigiano guys, right? And he invited us to tour his facility, which we did. And literally there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these big round things of Parmesan. And I learned quite a bit about it. So as we were leaving, he says to Massimo, would you like one? And he hands Massimo a whole big round thing of Parmigiano that was worth hundreds and hundreds of euro. Now we're flying in a small plane. Massimo didn't want to take the big chunk, so he had the guy cut it. He had him cut a wedge that was maybe 10 pounds, and that poor guy had that wedge on his lap the whole way back on a two-seater. It was unbelievable.
Did you know that there's a special way to cut that? I mean, there's like a science.
Yeah.
Like you can't cut it the wrong way, or else
You have to
I
use
don't
a
know.
wire. You have to
use
use
a
a
wire
wire, yeah.
and a knife and measure it 9 times and cut once. Anyway, let me just say something else about Tuscany. That one of the favorite things for me is driving in the countryside and seeing those pine trees and all the vineyards. It's very lush. And did you know that Tuscany is the greenest region of Italy? 20 regions. Tuscany is considered to be the greenest.
You know, Esther, I'm still processing the whole Parmigiano stuff that you said, and I'm thinking about the Americans who buy that stuff in a paper container,
A plastic one.
plastic
With the
one in
green
the
top.
grocery aisle,
With
and
the
it
green
says
top.
it says Parmesan, and then underneath it in small letters it says cheese, style cheese. And then the other thing is that when you do buy Parmesan cheese in the United States, which by the way is very expensive, don't buy the stuff that's aged 12 months. don't even buy the stuff that's aged, 18 months. To have a good Parmigiano, and you have to go to specialty shops, it has to be aged 24 or 36 months. The 36 months one, of course, you don't just wolf it all down, okay? You eat little pieces, you savor it.
You know what's really good with it?
What?
Honey. Parmesan cheese or some kind of a marmalade. That
Yeah,
really,
marmalade I
because
could-
it's a very strong taste. Marmalade or something like that.
With a good red wine, I mean, Parmesan cheese is just. But Pecorino Romano was a very good cheese too.
That's
They
fair.
even make it in
or
Sicily.
Sicilian
Yeah.
caciocavallo.
Caciocavallo, they make.
How did we get
There's a million types of cheeses here. Now that it's
And they
the
import it
fall-
from other countries. Hello, they import a lot of them from the other countries. Now that it's fall, ricotta, warm ricotta is coming, so that'll be good.
Well, anything from the sheep nowadays, September, October, maybe into November here. I mean, now's the time if you like ricotta cannoli. She likes that insalata. What is that stuff called?
Ricotta salata is available all year round,
Yeah,
Al.
I know, but it's like, do you like that stuff?
Yeah.
That's another stuff I take a pass on. You can't like it all.
Moving
Yeah.
on. We're getting ready for some of our tours. And listen to this, okay? This is hilarious, okay? So I've been telling Alfred, maybe 2 years, it's time for a new fridge. It's time for a fridge. The freezer keeps icing up and taking up this much room. And we have a very, very small refrigerator. Al, it's time for a new fridge. Our friends come over and say, hey, Al, maybe you should consider a new fridge. No. Even our friends Jen and Mike were here, and we were shopping for some home appliances, and I was looking, I said, Al, it's time for a new fridge. I even had one picked out last year. And if it was up to me, this is the fridge I would get. Alfred, what do you think? So no, okay, let's just wait. So what happens the night before I'm going to Tuscany, which is, by the way, a Saturday night. So Saturday night, I'm packing, getting ready to go for a week long to Tuscany. And by the way, Sunday is the day we publish the video. So that means that Saturday night, I'm busy editing and getting the video done for Sunday. What happens? We open the fridge, kaput, morto, rotto, dead. Our fridge died. And so, it's the night before, and Al and I went to, where did we go? Not Euronics. Yeah, yes, we went to Euronics, which is a great place to buy electronics and home appliances and everything. And for the very first time, trust me, very first time, him and I found the fridge. We looked at each other and said, yep, okay. Had it ordered, and it arrived a couple of days ago, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, because let me tell you, it's a thing of beauty.
Wait a minute. Now, I have a few things to say about the refrigerator. First of all, a small refrigerator like we had, which measures 54 centimeters in width, maybe about that much, those things last 10 years. So I got 12 years out of it, all right?
I've been talking about getting a new one for
All right,
2
so
years.
I got 12 years. So the way I look at it, I was 2 years ahead of the whole deal, okay? So yeah, we got a brand, and the name of the brand, by the way, and this is a survival tip, it's called Insense, all one word, Insense, Chinese manufacturer that's the leading manufacturer in Europe and also North America, because they manufacture in Mexico, of high energy efficient things. Everything is smaller, of course, because I'll give you a quick example. This is the ice tray.
That comes with it.
Okay, you can't fit. So one of the survival tips that I have is what you want to do is you want to bring some of these. I had these-
Survival tips?
Yeah.
Well, let me explain
20
that
years,
what
20
happened.
years.
What happened was that Alfred, while I was in Tuscany, he had no refrigerator. So he was using our trusted old cooler. I wanted to show him the cooler. And he went and bought ice and kept some of the food. He was living out of that.
Wait a
Now,
minute.
here's a good tip. Wait a second. You guys know what these are, right? So
Fill 'em
what
up.
he
Yep.
did was filled them up with
We
ice.
had 4 of them.
Yep, he filled them up with ice because he likes his iced coffee in the morning.
Right.
And that's what we had. And,
And
then,
these things over here, these things are great. When you buy gelato or
granita.
granita, this is the take-home thing. We always have 3 or 4. And usually when we have dinner, we put them on the table so the ice doesn't melt. I loaded up my trusty thing over here that I've had for 20 years, and I got through 8 days with no refrigerator. All
Yeah.
right? So anyways,
You survived.
she comes home on Monday. They're delivering it on Tuesday. All I heard was yak, 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 yak. No freezer, no refrigerator, yak,
What?
yak, yak.
Who,
And
Ben?
me, her.
I didn't miss it at all.
And meanwhile, I'm happy as a clam because I know how to survive with
Wait a sec.
no refrigerator.
Okay, so now the truth be told that you bought yourself ice all week long, and the day that I arrived, there was no ice. So I said to her, fast thinking. So my driver, before the driver came in, I made a stop and bought myself ice.
Her, but not me. You know something about
Because
ice?
you
Let me
forgot
tell you
to buy
about
me
ice,
ice.
okay? The Sicilian bars, all right, they are profoundly cheap when it comes to ice.
They're
all
just
right?
not used
They'll
to it.
put like 2 cubes, maybe 3 cubes, and they always bitch and moan
Can
because
I explain to you why?
oh, they're
I'll explain to you.
ridiculous. Is
Wait
what
a
they
second.
are.
Let me explain to you. It's the same story in Hungary, because using ice, putting ice in water, ice coffee, ice this, ice that. That's an American thing. They're not used to it. Remember the first time that we saw bagged ice in our supermarket was only like 2-3 years ago. It's not a usual thing to have ice. More bars, more restaurants, you can now go and they'll freely give you ice. Excuse me, Eduardo at the bar down the road from us, down from our house, he gave me half a bag of free ice.
I
So,
bought ice.
but-
It was
but-
€1.99
a
for
lot of
2
places,
kilos.
they don't, ice is not part of what they do. No Sicilian goes to a bar, a restaurant, and gets iced water. When you go into a restaurant, for instance, in the United States, you get iced water with a straw, right? No, not here. It's just not a usual thing. So a lot of these small mom and pops, they're just not used to it. Maria's, for instance, she probably only has 1 bag of ice, 1 bag for the entire day for
You
use for other
cannot
things.
run a business on in my opinion, 1 bag of
This
ice.
is a pastry shop, Al. With
What pastry shop?
a bread place.
No, the
Maria.
guy's at restaurant. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I mean, come
He has
on.
lunch takeout.
Let me say something else
He
to
has
you
lunch
while we're
takeout.
talking about it, okay? You need to have backup stuff in your house. If you're ever going to live here, like batteries, AAA, quadruple A, you need to have flashlights,
Candles.
candles, and I'll tell you what, this is the best investment. Our friend,
That's awesome.
this is my cigar thing. This thing just lights up the fires in 1 second. You need to be redundant on survival things, because sometimes when we're leaving, there'll be a sign on our gate that says tomorrow from 10 to 5, no electricity
Then you gotta
Right?
be prepared.
or no internet. All right?
Definitely batteries, definitely candles,
Without a doubt.
definitely tape.
Oh my God, tape.
That's another topic.
That's the bane of my existence.
tape.
The worst tape in the world is the Italian version of masking tape. Now, what is that? It's the great tape that they sell in the States that you could wrap up a body
No,
and
that's
you'll never
pretty
get
good.
out?
No,
What's
that's
that?
no,
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty.
the
The other
American
one,
one.
the other one is that white's the Scotch tape. Anyway. Anyway, I think that's it. We
Oh, last
covered
thing-
agriturismo.
last thing I wanna
we
say.
covered Pienza. We covered the fridge and appliances. And by the way, we did a whole video on what to buy, where to buy it on appliances and stuff for the house. And we did that with Jen and Mike. I'll leave you a link.
Let me give you one last survival tip, okay? You know a plunger for like the toilet?
Oh, we need
Okay.
to get one.
All right, let's say a plunger, okay? There's no such thing as a big plunger like we have in the United States. They look at you like you have three heads on. They'll give you a small little one like this. So what do you use if your bathroom gets, backed up? Okay, your toilet in your bathroom is very simple. You get your mop, I'm serious. And you stick it in, and you go like this with the mop.
This is
and
from
it unplugs it.
experience.
Okay, I'm serious. And the reason I got that is because I went to 15 places, and finally a guy says, "What the hell you need one of those for?" He says, "Just get a mop and put it in."
Works just as well.
Right? The
All
guy
right, on
Giovanni
that
from,
point-
from Valverde told
On
me
that point,
Anyways.
that was a fun little episode. What are we going to do next week? Ooh,
Next
it's going to be
week-
a nice surprise. Before we leave, I need to show you our new plants that we just got, our fall plants for our fall tours.
the start of them.
The
We're getting more.
start of them. If you've watched this long, thank you for staying. We love you guys. I'm so happy to be back home in Sicily. I'll be quite honest with you. Love Tuscany, but in love
You belong in
with
Sicily, period. Punto.
All right, say goodbye so I
Basta.
can show them.
Sa Benedicto.
All right, let me show you. Brand new flowers. Tulips are my favorite. This, by the way, is a Greek coin made by my friend's father. And there's our view. Arrivederci. Ti voglio bene. See you next video. Ciao.
We specialize in all your obsolete videotape transfers from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You may be a producer, you may be a director, you may work at a television station, you even may be making a movie or a documentary. You may have vintage video formats sitting around with footage that you need done and transferred now. The main goal here, people, is to preserve the video footage and where it comes from. Many of these TV stations here in the Los Angeles market and elsewhere, most television programs are long gone. If your family member was lucky enough to capture these on some videotapes, it is great and possible in this day and age to bring that back to life. So here at Obsolete Video Transfer Services, we're doing just that. Thank you for watching OVS's YouTube channel. Hope you're enjoying all the clips. Please leave your comments and questions below at the bottom. We'd like to hear from you. If you have videotapes and you worked as a producer, television engineer, maybe you were a cameraman, maybe you have stories about your television channel. Maybe you're reliving some of the history of your channel right here on my YouTube page. Maybe you have specific funny little things about certain clips that we're posting. We want to hear all the information about the clips you are viewing. Obsolete Video Services is here for history as well as historical value. We value the people we work with, we value the video footage we recover, and we love saving video history. So why us? That's the main reason. We value the history that we are preserving here at Obsolete Video Services.
Welcome to Filtrini's restaurant. My name is Simone. I come from Parma, Italy. And if you come here, you sign in for a very good time. Ready delivery.
Put that on the plate.
There you go. Yeah. Fresh ciabatta bread. Come on, let's go in the bar. They had a banister. Love you, mean it.